Good morning, everybody. It's the 7th of March. Ken Ring here at sunrise, which is what I'm taking this from. We have the moon in Sagittarius. That means when the sun is rising. This is the viewer sitting over Auckland. It means that the moon is directly overhead first thing in the morning. And moon in Sagittarius is it means a cooling. According to the old astrology, a cooling enough for rain to happen. And this moon is actually squaring Mercury, which is here on this side. Mercury and Saturn and Jupiter are all hanging around together, so you can't really see them once the sun gets up above the horizon, because the glare of the sun is too much. But when it creates a square shape compared to Mercury and the moon, well, that means something in the old astrology, and Mercury, moon squaring Mercury means unstable weather. We have Saturn and Libra opposite each other. So, sorry, let's say that again. We have Saturn in Libra, and Saturn in Libra by itself means something. Saturn in Libra is a very cold situation. It means cold way up high at the top of the atmosphere. A lot of cold coming down, and we have the Sun and Jupiter and Mercury kind of in close enough together in the same part of the sky that it creates what we call an aspect, it's actually a dry factor, a dry warming factor. So weather-wise, all of that garbled stuff means that there is both warmth and showers going on. In the summertime, the warmth actually produces showers because water evaporates and it has to fall down again. So that's hot and humid and rain later. But if it's wintertime where you are, and of course the whole Earth goes under the moon and the sun and the planets every 24 hours. Well, if it's wintertime, then you're probably just going to get a whole lot of cloud that have the look of rain about them. You'll think it's trying to rain without actually dropping much. So you might say more cloud than actual rain. And that's probably the case in Ireland and if you're in the UK. Now, today being the 7th is both the last quarter moon and the southern declination, which means it's the furthest point south that it gets, and south is where I am, so it's right over my head. It's the highest point is actually when I'm going to wake up in the morning. Well, both last quarter and southern declination is actually a rest day if you're a gardener. So you shouldn't do anything. You should tidy up the shed. You should, maintain your tools. Don't actually do any gardening. The ground wants a rest then. And it's also the day that the weather changes its pattern, because it's the third last quarter moon. So whatever it was doing, it'll probably become something else for another 7 days. These are the pulses of the moon's activities. Southern declination itself means that the moon's orbit is running parallel to the Earth's orbit for a day or so, and so the whole moon slows down. Any weather pattern that began itself before it got into southern declination will kind of carry over for a few days until that southern declination is passed. And this is the time that the weather forecasters are the most correct on the TV, because when they say the weather today will be the same as it's going to be tomorrow, that's generally about correct. In about 7 days' time, they're going to be the least correct, because it's not going to be like that at all. If you're into fishing, well, it's still a better than average time for fishing, but it's best to get out there if you want to put your line in between 6 and 12, and that's AM and PM. Don't forget to allow for daylight saving. So anyway, that's all from me. Thanks for watching.